LaMelo has been off to a good start to his NBA career with the Hornets, and he's been especially impressive over the past few games. So much so that if you watch the entirety of the Hornets games, one could easily see him as the player who should be the starting point guard and one of the best players on the team. So I'll touch on that more a bit later, but a question that has popped up in my head is if LaMelo is actually better than Lonzo right now. So let's do a breakdown with stats and through the eye test to find out this answer, and also who has more potential in the future as well. And very quickly before we get into it, if you want to see more interesting NBA content just like this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, as I really do appreciate all your guys' support. So on offense, we only have a small sample size given that it's still very early in the season, but let's go over each player's current stats. Starting off with LaMelo, he's averaging 11.5 points, 4.3 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 2.3 turnovers on a shooting split of 42.1% from the field, 42.3% from 3, and 71% from the free throw line in only 23 minutes per game. And per 36 minutes, that's about 18 points, almost 7 rebounds, 6.5 assists, and 3.7 turnovers per game. And he also has a positive 0.1 offensive win shares and a 104 offensive rating. On the other hand, Lonzo has struggled so far this season, averaging 12.3 points, 4.5 assists, 4.5 rebounds, and 2.7 turnovers per game on 38.9% shooting from the field, 30.2% from 3, and 55.6% from the free throw line. However, he did shoot 37.5% from 3 last season on a bigger sample size, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he's about a league average shooter from 3 overall. Per 36 minutes, Lonzo is also averaging almost 14 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and 3 turnovers on negative 0.1 offensive win shares and a 96 offensive rating. So from the stats, it's clear that LaMelo has performed better than Lonzo so far this season on offense, and even compared to last season from Lonzo, LaMelo has looked much better compared to then as well. One of the biggest criticisms of Melo was his inconsistent shot, but it's looked pretty good so far, especially as a set shot or pulling up. It's a bit different than normal forms and his legs tend to flail out a little bit, but it looks like it could work so far, and if it's not broke, don't fix it. However, the most interesting part about Melo so far is just how much better he has looked compared to Lonzo in running an offense. Melo looks great in being able to create plays for others and his own shot as well, and he just has that great feel for the game that really can't be taught. He plays with so much patience for a 19-year-old, and while he has struggled with trying to make flashy or dangerous passes that has led to turnovers, he'll certainly improve in this department with more games under his belt. Lonzo has always seemed to be more of a great transition passer, but in half-court settings, he has definitely struggled in this area in the NBA. I think it's clear LaMelo is right now the better overall playmaker and I'd argue shot creator as well, especially in half-court settings, and it also looks early on that he's already the better shooter. So, LaMelo gets the win here on offense over his brother. Now moving on to defense, LaMelo has averaged 1.8 steals and 0.5 blocks on the season, which is equal to 2.9 steals and 0.8 blocks per 36 minutes, and also an 0.2 defensive win shares and 105 defensive rating. Lonzo has averaged 1.5 steals and 0.8 blocks on the season with 1.7 steals and 0.9 blocks per 36, and he also has 0.3 defensive win shares and a 103 defensive rating. So starting off with LaMelo again, he has looked pretty good on defense, which is a surprise to many, as that was looked to be one of his biggest weaknesses heading into the NBA. He's flashed great anticipation to get easy strips, and his rotations have been pretty solid as well. He does need to improve a bit on fighting through screens though, but his team defense has looked really good so far, and he has a lot of potential to become an asset on this end of the floor. Lonzo has always been a very good defender ever since he came to the NBA, as he has great instincts and knows how to use his length to get blocks and shut down opposing guards. Right now, LaMelo's raw stats may look better, but advanced stats point to Lonzo as the better defensive player along with the eye tests, but LaMelo has been pretty good and can eventually catch up to Lonzo on the defensive end in the future. Overall, it's a tough decision to who's currently the better player. If you value offense more, I'd give the edge to LaMelo, but Lonzo is the better player defensively. But the fact that this is even a question already speaks volumes to how good LaMelo is already, but I'd say right now the overall better player by a very small margin is Lonzo. I don't think Lonzo is going to keep shooting this poorly, and his bigger sample size of last season show that he has improved his 3-point shooting. He's also been a lot more consistent and well-rounded on the defensive end compared to LaMelo, and he is arguably one of the best guard defenders in the NBA. However, I could see the argument going to LaMelo given his great feel for the game already, and I think he has a lot more potential than Lonzo by far. But I could see in just a few months as LaMelo continues to improve that he will end up surpassing his brother sometime this year, and also take that starting point guard role from Devontae Graham and also win the NBA Rookie of the Year award. So that's a wrap. Thank you guys all for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video and want some more daily NBA content just like this, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and also be sure to turn on post notifications so you can stay updated on my next video will be coming out. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram and hit me up if you want to talk about basketball or business. Just drop a comment down below my photo or DM me and I'll definitely try to get back to most of you guys there. Drop a comment down below on who you think is the better player, LaMelo or Lonzo. Let me know as I throw out comments. I'm definitely interested to see what you guys have to say here as well. So without that being said, once again, thank you guys all for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Peace.